So back in August, I shared my curriculum picks for science and for history/geography. Now, I also shared my morning basket, but I never shared what we were going to do for language arts or for math because I wanted to try something different and I wanted to make sure that it was working before recommending it to you guys. And so I just wanted to do it a little bit different than I did the year before, because the year before was my first year and I did make a lot of changes and we were still learning just kind of my son's learning style and just my teaching style and those sorts of things and kind of what worked for us. And so this year, I wanted to make some changes, especially since I started to work part-time. I am working from home, but it's not too many hours. It's only about 3 hours a day. And so I wanted to find something that was going to make things a little bit easier for me. And so today I am going to share with you how our curriculum has been working for us in all subjects and what we actually decided to use for math and language arts, and if it's working for us or not. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily, and on this channel I share all things motherhood, living a healthy lifestyle, homeschool, and faith. So if any of that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and click that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post new videos. You can also check me out on Instagram at A Woman on a Journey blog, and you can check out my website at awomanOnAJourney.com. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you some updates to our curriculum and kind of what's working for us, what's not, and how everything's been going so far. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is Bible. Now, if you did watch my Bible curriculum pick video on kind of how we were going to be doing Bible, things did change. We were using More Than Words by Master Books, and we're still kind of using it, but not as frequently. There were some things that are not really working for us, which I would say is the Charlotte Mason type of approach to it. My son is not really interested in the hymn studies. He is not interested in the art study that's included in some of the lessons, or most of the lessons actually. And so we have been kind of picking and choosing what we're using. But overall, I think the curriculum is great. It has nothing to do with the curriculum. It just has to do with what works for my son. And I think he's just kind of on the younger side where that stuff isn't really of interest to him right now. And it could be because we've never done anything like that before. And so he is a very energetic child, and he does have to keep moving. And so I do think like having the coloring pages in there and being able to write, doing the copy work is great. But then sometimes he's like, because we already do handwriting and because there's a couple of things that he does do writing in, sometimes when it comes to that, I kind of just push it aside because I already know that we're going to be getting a lot of handwriting and he is just not for it. And so I didn't announce, but he's in first grade and he's 6 years old. So he's still in that early stage of really getting used to writing more and just his desire to even want to do it. So we are doing that here and there. We are still doing our character trait cards from September and Co. So those are going great. The one change we made, and I've had this for a little while, but we hadn't started using it yet, and it's the I Am devotional. And I had gotten this from Christian Book back in the summer. And I originally got it because I wanted it to be a family devotional, but I ended up just taking it out one day and going over it with him, and he absolutely loved it. And what's really great and what we really like about this is that it basically tells you all the different names of God. So like you have Creator, and then you'll have the Hebrew name for Creator, which is Elohim. And so you'll have the different names of God, like God of truth, You'll have I am, the Lord is there, the Lord provides. And so you'll have the Hebrew, Jehovah Shammah, Jehovah Jireh, and things like that. And you'll have the journey of different people throughout the Bible, and basically how God's character and who he is relates to this, and basically giving the reason why we can trust God. And basically that's what this devotional is 40 reasons to trust God. And so we really like this. Another thing that we like about it is the fact that there is a part that says learn more. And so it actually encourages you to look up a scripture and that relates to this. And so we have gone ahead, and I shared this in a previous video. We have this Investigator's Bible, and my son absolutely loves this. And so we'll go ahead and we'll look up scripture, and it's getting him comfortable with looking up Bible verses, how we look it up, and things like that. And then sometimes we might continue reading and we might go deeper into something. He might have a question, and so we're not really locked in to anything. It kind of allows us to explore the Bible more. And so this has been just kind of a great combination for us, and just bringing excitement to spending time in the Word of God. Now I'm going to share with you our language arts curriculum. I struggled pretty hard last year with what I wanted to do for language arts. For first grade, there was a lot more entailed as far as adding in. It wasn't just reading and phonics. You have to have spelling. You have to have grammar. You have to have you have your handwriting as usual, but then you also have them learning to write sentences and things like that. And it was just, there was so many things I found and liked and wanted to combine them, but I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like I was going to get overwhelmed just pulling all these different pieces together. And it's only my second year homeschooling, and so I just felt like it was just way too much pressure, and I wanted things to be with less pressure this year. And so I opted for the online videos for 𝗹𝗶𝘁𝗃𝗃. And so we are doing the 𝗹𝗶𝘁𝗃 curriculum for first grade, and he is doing phenomenal. It has really worked great. I will say some of the stuff is a lot of work. Overall, when you include handwriting, spelling, phonics, and any worksheet that you have to do, overall, it's about an hour that you're spending on all those things. Some of the worksheets I don't have him do if he has a solid understanding of the concepts. Then I'm just not going to make him do it. I might have him just do explode the code and call it a day. So sometimes, like with spelling, there's not always a worksheet, but they do poetry and spelling together. And so those videos are anywhere from 5 to about 10 minutes long, no more than that. I think that they're great. I think the curriculum is fantastic. I think that the teacher is fantastic. I've had a couple moments where, you know, I normally have the video playing in the living room, and my computer is also in the living room. So I'm working at the same time I'm watching him and listening to the video. And there's a couple times I've had to tell him, like, pay attention, make sure you're listening, or respond when the teacher says students watching, things like that. And so but it's good because I like the fact that they get them on their feet, especially even for spelling words. They'll have them stomp out the spelling words or clap out sounds, things like that. So they'll kind of get them going up and down, which is really great. And I think that when you consider doing any kind of video teachings, and when it comes to curriculum, if you have a child who is younger or who is very antsy, that can sometimes be a problem. So, you know, sometimes I have him sit in his chair. Sometimes he's just chilling on the sofa watching it. And so I don't put too much pressure. As long as he's paying attention and doing what he's supposed to, then that's all I care about. I don't really care where he's sitting or what he's doing, as long as he's doing, you know, understanding the material. And so What's really great is it does come with this video manual. And so I already know what the plan is. And if I need to write, there's some things that they have the students do on the board. So I have a little whiteboard and I'll write the same words that they're working on and have him, circle the specific blends or special sounds that he sees in those words and things like that. So he's participating also with the video. So I have those things prepared for him before I actually turn on those videos. So we have that. So we have the spelling and poetry book. We have the letters and sounds, which is basically phonics. Then you have the language arts, and then you have handwriting. And then there's like 3 other like tablet books just like this for more handwriting practice. And I believe when they get more into actually writing more sentences, or I don't know, eventually if they go into kind of short stories and things like that. But that's basically what it entails. It does come with a primary Bible reader. So these are actually, scriptures from the Bible, but just everything is shortened as far as the story is concerned. And then you have this handbook for reading. This is an absolutely great book. Even if you don't use the 𝗹𝗶𝘁𝗁𝗘𝗗 curriculum, this is a really great book for teaching your child to read. Everything is just the different phonetic sounds, long, short vowels, different blends and things like that. And so I definitely think that this is a great little handbook to just kind of have. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 readers. And so they start with a couple of short stories, and then they eventually go into longer stories. So that is what we're doing for language arts. And it's been going, like I said, it's been going really well. And if you can, if you're looking for a curriculum, whether it's, they do math, Bible, and language arts as separate videos. They have their whole curriculum where you can do everything online as well. But I just isolated just for language arts, and I just loved everything about their language arts curriculum, and I just wanted one company and one thing, and I modify it as I need to when it gets to be a little bit too much. 𝗹𝗶𝘁𝗃 is known for their great language arts curriculum, especially starting from pre-K kindergarten up to, I believe, 3rd, even 5th grade. Usually that's like where they're praised the most for. And then I guess it's hit or miss depending on the child when it comes to the higher grades. And one of the reasons why I'm really glad we went this route is because, like I mentioned in my previous video, we are currently expecting our 2nd child. And so the whole first trimester was really tough for me, and it was just a lot going on. And so being able to have the video and not miss out on any lessons was really amazing, to just have that. And it was less stress on me as far as what I needed to get done with him. Next, I'm going to be sharing our math curriculum. And I was very, very hesitant on this curriculum because of a lot of different reasons. But I won't really get into that. So I'm just going to say that we opted for Simply Good and the Beautiful Math 1. And this has actually surprisingly gone really well. I do like the manipulatives that come with it. The only thing I wasn't crazy about was the money. I actually have play money that looks a lot more real than the ones that come in there. So I tend to use that more because I just felt like it looked more confusing to my son, and he was saying that the coins were something that they weren't. But then when I would give him the other ones that we had, then it would seem to be more clear to him. So that would be my only, thing that I'm not crazy about when it comes to the manipulative box that it came with. However, the curriculum has gone great. It's beautiful. It's very colorful. I really wasn't sure how this was going to work for us. We are not in any way really doing any kind of Charlotte Mason type curriculums. And I know that the Good and the Beautiful kind of falls into that category. And so I looked through the sample online. Again, I wasn't sure, but said, let me do it. And so we went really good and strong up to about lesson 50. And then, and even from, I would say, lesson 40 to 50, we were a little bit in a struggle. And it was more because of the way the concepts were explained in this curriculum. And so we still like it and we're still using it, but I was just struggling with the way they shared things. And I'm, like I said, since I'm still new to homeschooling, I still feel like I need some hand holding. And math is my strong subject, but the way I see it sometimes and the way it makes sense to me, isn't always the way it makes sense to my son. And so I'm always trying to think of, okay, if he doesn't get it this way, how else can I explain it? Or what else can I do to get him to understand? And so I felt like there were some things in here that were confusing him, and it was moving on to the next one and the next one without him fully grasping it. And so I said, you know what, let's take a pause. There was a curriculum that I had really wanted to try before I ended up getting in, kind of deciding on the Good and the Beautiful. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to purchase it anyway, because I really feel confident that this is going to be the curriculum that helps and works. And I actually learned about this curriculum through Megan over at Pennies and Salt, and it is Christian Light Education Mathematics 1. And so this is the teacher's guide. It comes with 2 teacher's guides, and then it comes with these light units. It comes with 10 of the light units. And what's really nice is that the child can feel very accomplished once one of these units are completed. And so what I also like is that there are speed drills for every lesson. And so they have a minute to do them. And I think it kind of really helps reinforce what they're learning and making sure that they remember the concepts. And so this curriculum, Megan actually referred to it as a mixture of spiral and mastery. And that is something that I really needed. Fully mastery was not working for my son, and spiral works for him, but then he can also kind of, because he gets tired of seeing the same concepts all the time. He's like, I know this, I don't want to do it. And so that's why I knew spiral is what he needed, but there's other concepts that he still needs to master too. So Simply Good and the Beautiful math is spiral. And you know, it's been great, like I said, but just implementing this math has made a world of a difference. And I absolutely love it. My son is not crazy about the fact that there's no color. That is the first thing, or that's the second thing he realized. The first thing he realized was that there's pictures in the front look old. And so he calls it the math from the 1600s. And I don't know where he gets this stuff from, but that's how he refers to it. And I will say that regardless of what he feels, he's still learning, and he's not easily distracted by the pictures on the following page. He was kind of getting a little bit distracted with the other math because he would do his work, but if I was reading something to him or he was supposed to do something, he was focused on what the next page was and what those pictures meant and what we were supposed to be doing next. And I'm trying to get him to focus on what we're doing at that moment. So not every child's like that, but he had days where it became more of a distraction than anything. So I really do like this. There are 2 quizzes, I believe. Yeah, there's 2 quizzes. So after you get to a certain point, they get 1 quiz, and then probably by the middle, they get the second quiz. And then by the end, they have a test. And usually the test is in the middle somewhere. And you just rip it out, and then you can give them the test afterwards. I don't tell him that they're tests and just tell him that they're special papers. And that makes him feel a lot better. He is a perfectionist, and so he strives to make everything perfect, and he gets upset if he gets anything wrong. And so to put less pressure on him, I tell him, this is just for me to see what you know and what we need more practice with. So I leave it like that. The drills, I thought were gonna freak him out because he's not keen on having a timer. He doesn't like the pressure, but I actually found that the timer and doing the 1 minute speed drills actually have been working so well with him. And his math facts that he was struggling with, he is memorizing them so much quicker, and he's doing so well with it. So he's only had maybe 1 or 2 drills where he didn't make it in time, and he had like maybe 1 or 2 math problems left over, and he got really, really upset about it and said he didn't want to do speed drills ever again. But then the next day he was perfectly fine and he was ready to do speed drills. So again, I think you have to it depends on your child. Like I said, my son, I talked to him, I spoke to him about, it's all about him practicing. It wasn't a test, it wasn't anything. I was still proud of him. All the ones he did, the answers were right. So that's what mattered the most, is that he got the right answer. And so we're working on his perfectionism. But I really, really just want to sing praises about this curriculum. I don't think there's not a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about Christian light education, especially not the math program. I've seen a couple regarding language arts and reading, and I hear that their reading program is great, but the math I haven't seen, especially not for the lower grades. I've probably seen maybe for 3rd and 4th grade. And so thank you, Megan, for actually putting out that video that you did. She did a video, a flip through, and then she also did a video of like showing her teaching her child. So that was great, and I think that helped me and pushed me more. And I really wanted to get this curriculum first, but I thought exactly what my son ended up saying. It's not colorful. And so, I think you can find ways to make it fun for your child. I do like the constant practice of their place value. They constantly practice money every day. And so I'll throw some coins together and I'll tell them to tell me how much they are. I'll even add things like, all right, here's a bunch of coins. I need you to make 17 cents with the least amount of coins. And, kind of teaching him like that. Instead of taking a dime and 7 pennies, he can take a dime, a nickel, and 2 pennies. And so things like that I kind of incorporate, get him hands-on, because he is a kinesthetic learner. He is a visual learner. That is the main way that he learns. And he needs to be doing something that makes him feel like he's enjoying whatever it is he's doing even more. And so that's been great. And also you can kind of get your own, but I really wanted to get the math flashcards that came with it. And so this actually covers 1st and 2nd grade. And so there's these different tabs here, and you have a part where it's new facts, and then facts that you practice once a day, and then facts that you practice whether it's Monday, Tuesday, and so on. And then over here you have the unused facts. So these are all the unused facts, and every day they'll learn a new fact, but they'll also review the facts that they've already learned. And so we did skip the 1st book. I didn't even purchase it because I knew that everything that was in that book, he was going to know it. He knew most of the stuff in the 2nd book. So I just kind of made him do it just to do it. And so we kind of just did 2 lessons each. And so what I'm doing, the way I'm kind of working it out is, I feel like Wendy from Plan Prep Pray, because she does like 2 or 3 different math curriculums. And so we are using both of them. So what I'm doing is I will do 1 lesson in one and 1 lesson in the other. And at this point, they're kind of lining up together, which is great. Now, if I see that the Good and the Beautiful is a little bit more ahead of where we are in Christian light education or vice versa, then I'll just slow down. I focus on Christian Light as our main curriculum right now, and then Simply Good and the Beautiful just as extra practice. So it all depends on what we're up to in the books. And so it's definitely been great, and I love both curriculums. But if you're looking for something that's both mastery and spiral, then I definitely recommend CLE. Now, to share real quick our morning basket. We have not really been doing it. And I know I shared in my videos that our morning basket is also the quiet time basket. That's exactly what it's been, just the quiet time basket. And even sometimes it's not even used, but we have a couple days a week that we might use it. But yeah, that's kind of been pushed on the back burner ever since I found out I was pregnant and everything, and just the less I can do, that works for me right now. And so that's kind of what's going on with our morning basket. I haven't been consistent with the morning fold or anything like that. We do practice our Murmy verse and things like that, but I'm just starting to kind of get back into calendar time, and I just want to get back into that. I do like that our math with the Simply Good and the Beautiful does go over calendar probably every couple of lessons. So that's been helping to at least keep that in our homeschool, even though I haven't really been doing it the way I was doing it before. And so at least he's still getting to understand the calendar, understanding what a week before, a week after is, things like that. So that's something I really like that's incorporated in there right now too. So for science, we are doing master books, Life for Beginners. This has been going great. But like I said, with everything in my first trimester, things got pushed aside. So that included science, that included history and geography. But we are back on track, and we have been doing it here and there. Instead of twice a week, some weeks we might do it twice a week, some weeks we might do it once a week. And so that's kind of how it's working for us right now. And then, it all depends. And so I'm trying to incorporate some of the science activities or experiments that they have in here as well, which are pretty fun. They're not hard, they're pretty simple. And so whatever I can do, I do try to incorporate it, because my son does like that kind of stuff, especially when it comes to science. That's one of his favorites. This has been going pretty well. I love how gentle it is. I love how simple it is. And it doesn't take a long time. So it's been going really great. For history, I shared that we are doing a free history curriculum called Miniature Masterminds. And so if you're interested in that, I will link that video down below. I have flip-throughs of the science, flip-throughs of history, and Bible and morning basket, all that. So if you're interested in any of that and what I have shared, I will link all those videos down below so you can check them out. But Miniature Masterminds, going really great. Like I said, it was on the back burner for a little bit, but we're back on track, and we've been doing it little by little. This has kind of been more of a once a week thing. The lessons are super short, so we do more than one lesson when we do them. And we kind of did a little bit more with the Evan Moore geography, the skill sharpeners. So we kind of touched on this a little bit more, and this has been going really well too. So I think, we kind of just alternate them. Hopefully we'll kind of get more back into a groove of things as the weeks continue. So that is my homeschool update. I hope that this was helpful to you guys, and now you know what we're using for math and language arts. And I'm actually happy that I didn't share it with you earlier in the school year, because I really want to give value to you guys, and I really wanted to share with you guys, coming from, especially if you are in your first, second, or third year of homeschooling, or maybe you're thinking about it. I find it that it's very valuable to really know how things work and why they work. And so that's why I wanted to do it a little bit different on this channel, and just kind of see how that turned out. And so thankfully it actually turned out really well, and I'm happy with everything we chose we've only really made the slight, not even much of a change because we had it already, but with Bible, we made that slight change, and with math, we made that slight change. Other than that, everything else is the same. So I just want to say thank you for tuning into this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.